Hi everyone, and welcome to the Oily Cadence. My name's Gina Ingram, and this is Bo Edison.
Hi everybody.
We're on Fresh Oil Fridays. We're trying to learn a little bit of new stuff and see what all we can get going here. I hope you guys enjoyed Thanksgiving and you got stuffed,
Way too much.
Yes.
Ate way too much.
Happens every year. We never learn.
I'm going to have to go on a diet. Just saying.
We'll just wait until after Christmas to do that.
Yes, I will. Gotta have the pie, gotta have the cookies,
Yes.
gotta have that stuff. Absolutely.
Yes, and I hope you enjoyed the men's episode beforehand last week. I know the guys are just really wanting to do another one, so we'll see what they come up with on that one, and we'll go from there. But today, we're actually going to start a two-part series.
Oh, two-part series.
Because there's a lot of information here, and it's definitely going to have to be split into two parts.
Of course. We're
going to start on electromagnetic frequency.
Okay, electromagnetic frequency. What is that? Is that our frequency of the body?
Yes, frequency of the body, which we're going to start at the atomic level. Wow,
we're going all the way down to atoms.
Yes.
So here we go.
Because to understand this, you have to know where it's coming from. It's coming from the atoms, because you know how atoms have kind of this ball of magnetic energy. That's how they work.
Protons and neutrons and
Exactly. So, and all that vibration and everything, because they're bouncing up against each other and whatnot, that's what causes, their electromagnetic. That's, how the fields, they have little fields around them, basically.
Well, every human body has a little bit of electricity current inside of it. I mean, you can pick up a headphone jack that's plugged inside of speakers and you touch it, it's going to release sound because you have electrical.
That is a really good example.
Really? You have electrical current.
Exactly. So everything in the world has a specific vibration or frequency to it, and a rhythm. This is actually how the Oily Cadence got its name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you'll see the waves on, and everything has a little wave to it. That's the frequency. That's the Oily Cadence, has to do with rhythm. It is a musical term, which I like music, so it shows that wave. But anyway, another example would be the North and South poles. The Earth has a frequency to it.
Right.
And so, you have the North and the South Pole, and thus you have the electromagnetic frequency between those two. And it's just kind of part of what keeps the world together.
Yeah,
really.
If it's not there, then we're thrown off kilter and the whole world's doomed.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever you're thinking of those waves, it doesn't just have the up and down, but also the length in between the waves. And so you want to keep that balanced for your body, basically. The human body has a frequency of 62 to 78 megahertz. So whenever you get outside of that, but especially below that, then you're going to start getting into where your body is off, and then do so good, you're going to start getting colds. Because even you think about it, even viruses and bacteria are going to have frequencies.
Good point, because they're their own bodies. They're their own.
Even cancer cells are going to have their own frequency. If you think about that, so it's it's all how it meshes together.
Okay.
So I believe cancer has a 42
megahertz
frequency. So that tells you how low your body can drop.
This is causing me to really think, because here I am. I'm a tech guy. I understand radio frequencies. Your Wi-Fi has a radio frequency. Your radio system has a radio frequency. Your cell phones have a radio frequency.
Yes.
And those cell phones, typically run in a range between 1200 megahertz to 1900 megahertz for the smartphones, those who have data. And those who aren't on data, well, they're going to be running within the 400 to 600 megahertz frequency. 400 to 900 megahertz frequency zone. So I wonder, can it?
Yes.
Can stuff that we have around us actually affect our frequencies?
Yes, it can. And in fact, here's another thing, because I have incoherent frequencies. There's a graphic for that, where if you look at it and you think about cities, you have all this concrete, asphalt,
Is this a...
Yes, that one right there.
Yeah, there it is.
And including the, your cell phones, in a city especially, you're going to have all these cell phones and cars and things that are not a natural frequency. So you get this incoherent frequency that is off from the natural body's rhythm, here. And so that you get people in the city a lot of time, a traffic jam, there's horns blaring, people are yelling because they're all getting all agitated, which just adds to that incoherent frequency that's going way off kilter. And the more your body has to compensate
for that,
the harder it is on it, the more stress there's going to be on your body.
Yeah.
So, here's an interesting study. And I hate to tell coffee drinkers this, but the study actually came from this, was in this desk reference here. I love this book. It's got so much information in it. If you are wanting to know more about essential oils, then definitely get this book, or you can get the smaller desk reference or the pocket reference version of it. I have a link for the desk reference that I'm going to put up, but I give the pocket references to anybody who just signs up with my member number under Young Living, because there's so much good information there that I just have to give one to everybody that's wanting to know more about essential oils and get into essential oils. But anyway, on this study, it says they did a coffee. They took coffee in two different men, young men.
Okay.
I believe it was 24.
Coffee drinker.
Yeah, 24 and 26.
Okay.
So relatable to us, for sure.
Absolutely.
And it depends on the amount per person, of course, with coffee and whatnot. But one of them took a sip of it, and both of them actually had the same frequency, and it immediately dropped their frequency at least 8 points.
What?
Whenever they took a sip of coffee.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, granted, that's not going to say that everything coffee's horrible for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Frequency is not the end all be all, but this is a tool in your toolbox.
Yes. Yes.
It's something to be aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it just, once again, it depends on the person, because one of them dropped more points than the other.
Mm-hmm.
But still, however, this is another thing that was found by this study, was whenever you have negative thoughts and you're feeling down and all that sort of thing, it can drop your frequency just by thinking, the power of your brain, because your brain has all these neurons that are firing these little pulses.
Crazy.
Can drop at 12 megahertz.
Oh my gosh. So we can literally,
Drop
based off of our thoughts,
yes,
based off of whatever our feelings, our emotions, affects our overall.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So if you think about it, how many times do we hear about a study, or somebody says something about, people who are negative tend to be sick more often?
Yeah.
You've heard that a lot.
I've heard that. Well, the same in
Think
classrooms. I mean, educational purposes right now. I mean, I just came out of the educational field. I was a technology director for Quapaw Public Schools. Yeah. And I'd have to say, one of the things that was a huge push was meditation rooms where kids could go in and it's just a mellow vibe, everything's calmed down, and it just helped them relax. I bet you it has to do something with that.
Yes, because, get this, positive thoughts raise at 10 megahertz. So if you get, go from, oh, this is horrible, I hate this is awful, and then you're like, okay, wait a minute, I gotta switch this is a good thing for me, I'm gonna grow from this, it's gonna be great, that'll raise at 10. You're still 2 points away from where you were. However, if you spend time in prayer and meditation, it raises at 15 megahertz.
Dang.
Above the negative level. So think about it. You read your Bible, meditate on God's word, you pray, stay close to the Lord, you're going to be 15 and above. You're going to be raising that frequency. You're
going to feel much better.
Exactly.
Your body's going to be functioning correctly. I mean, from a technological standpoint, from my point, which is a little bit of science, when you're off kilter of your frequency, you're going to have a harder time trying to function. I mean, it's the same thing with your electronics at home. You have a cell phone and it's getting a weak signal. It's not getting the best megahertz radio frequency to it, so it's not going to get the best speeds.
Exactly.
Absolutely makes sense to the body as well, because if you're not getting the best frequency for your needs for inside your body, you're automatically going to be thrown off kilter and not going to get the best speeds anyway.
Exactly. So sluggish, off,
Yeah.
down.
Totally relate to this. Totally relate to this.
Yes, exactly. So if that's my incentive to, take some time to slow down, meditate on the word, pray, I don't know what is.
So in this chart, you have the normal human frequency. Is that where the human body basically needs to be at?
Yeah, somewhere in that range, because it is going to vary according to, if you drink coffee.
Well, you have 3 kids under the age of 3.
Yeah. And another thing is sleep is going to drop it a little bit, but we all know sleep is not unhealthy for us.
Not at all. No, it's a godsend more than anything else.
So, and on top of that, the food you eat, because get this, your let's see, canned foods are 0 megahertz.
Hey.
Isn't that interesting?
They have nothing.
Canned and processed foods are 0 megahertz. But you get fresh foods and they're 20 to 27.
Which helps your body.
Which is going to be much closer, because you'll notice if you eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, you're going to feel better than if you eat canned or frozen all the time.
Yeah. For those of you who have a hard time getting fresh fruit, something like that, there are ways where you can do, not necessarily canned, but my wife and I, and we're going to talk about this sometime here soon, about healthy eating and the different ways of doing things. We have a whole giant lineup ahead of us. This is going to be really cool.
Yes.
We've been brainstorming on it, and I'm looking forward to it. But one of the things that my wife and I are going to do is we're going to get the Food Saver, the vacuum thingy.
Yeah.
And I used to hate canning jars, canning food. Okay, I hated it. You had to bring the pressure cooker out there, and you got to put everything in the cans, pressurize it, and I hate it.
Watch it so closely.
Yes.
You don't want it to explode.
Yeah, it explode. Everything's a mess. The jars it's a horrible process. Well, Food Saver now has a can vacuumer. So you actually put this little cup over the jar.
That's cool.
And it sucks it up and creates the vacuum and preserves the food. You don't have to boil it. So what does that mean?
That's going to save your food and save the nutrients in
Save
it.
the nutrients, which could in turn could even help with the frequencies inside of it. For those of you who are busy and don't have time to just go out to the grocery store, or you let food spoil in your fridge too long or something like that, that might be something you want to look into. I'm just speaking from my personal opinion, because my family is a 24/7. We're constantly moving, even in the middle of the night. So and sometimes it's hard to get fresh food, but there are options out there for you to get fresh food, and we'll be talking about that later on. Talking about some stories and some tips and tricks you guys can have. I didn't mean to take us off kilter there, but I just wanted to make everybody understand that.
Yeah, it's really great. It's good to know this stuff, and we are going to have a series coming up in December about detoxing your life. It's just general detoxing, and we're going to have different things for. I think I'm going to, maybe a tough one for you, but electronic detox.
Oh, absolutely.
Food detox. We may go by body systems. We're getting everything lined out. It's really going to be awesome. So make sure you stay tuned in December for this. Okay, back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic.
Okay, here's 2 guys that I would really like for you to research if you can. There is a lot of controversy about these fellows, but just go to the facts, find the facts on them, because the Royal Raymond Rife researched using frequencies against diseases. Isn't that fascinating?
I've heard about that. I'm a history buff, big time.
Because you think about like an opera singer and then that shatters a glass. Yeah. There's videos all over the internet. People can do this. It's not just a myth. And so this is kind of the concept he was using against diseases. And
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it makes absolute sense, because if you can do that, then you can break a cell.
You just have to get the exact
right frequency.
The other guy is Nikola Tesla, and he was researching using frequencies more as prevention. So, once again, this is all toolboxes. If you guys want a little bit of information, just go research those guys. It's it's pretty cool what they came up with, and just all the different things on it.
Well, Tesla. He was the founding father for the Tesla coil. For those of you who understand, see those little balls of electric stuff, bolts shining around. You put your hand on it, it checks you. He's the father of that. He actually designed the Tesla coil that allows that to happen. So he is a very well known and profounder inside frequency and understanding. I mean, he's also the same guy who helped us figure out how to do radios. Yeah. So I mean, he's a very good source to look at.
Yeah. So definitely look those two guys up, and it's really fascinating what you can find on what their research was. So, like I said, everything of essential oils everything has an individual frequency.
Correct.
This includes essential oils. Now, I am not saying that essential oils will treat, cure, or prevent any type of disease. I'm not saying that. I'm just going to tell you some of the frequencies, and then next week we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this particular topic. But I'll give you a little taste of this. So, the frequencies of essential oils range from 52 to 320 megahertz. Yes. Yes.
Just telling you, 300 megahertz, that's a huge bump up.
Yes.
That's a big one.
But think about, if you remember from where I said, your body needs to be between 62 and 78 megahertz. It would be great for us to learn things that are going to support our body in having a healthier level of megahertz, healthier frequency.
Right where you need it.
Exactly. So I've got a few oils here that I was going to kind of tell you about on how exactly these, like right now we're diffusing the Christmas Spirit. The Christmas Spirit. But it got orange, what did I say? Orange cinnamon bark and black spruce. And it smells amazing. But these up here specifically that I have, Citrus Fresh is 90 megahertz. Thieves has 150 megahertz. Joy, we've talked about Joy before. They have 188 megahertz on that one. Then you have frankincense, which is 147 megahertz. There's lavender with 118 megahertz. Peppermint has 78 megahertz. So if you remember back when I was talking about the earth and its frequency, how many of us, when we actually have time to get outside, enjoy the fresh air, get out away from the city, we can relax.
Oh man, yeah, even like camping. Let's just go into that aspect. Or the beach. My goodness, go to the beach and you're turning off your devices. If you're like me, I'm taking my cell phone, I'm putting it in a plastic bag, with sand or water getting into it, and I'm turning it off because it's hot out there. You don't want your electronics to overheat, so you just turn it off and you enjoy. I fall asleep on the beach sometimes. To be honest with you, you got that constant wave motion going. Why are we talking about this?
It's all part of nature, and so essential oils come from nature, if you think about it, because they are plants, they're all from plants, so it's just a plant in a bottle, so they're awesome. And everything, with the earth, and whenever you get outside, there's actually a thing called grounding, where people will walk barefoot, and it will help balance your body as well, because you go barefoot outside, you're going to end up feeling better because your frequency is going to level out a little bit.
Speaking of grounding, I mean, on a science standpoint, in sound, which is actually a frequency of itself, and it's the best for people to understand. If you have a sound bar or a sound system and it's making a hum, it's because it's not appropriately grounded. So it's the electrical currents that are going through it are static electricity that just sits there and it creates the hum. So what you have to do is you have to appropriately ground it. So if you think about it, it's the same thing with the human body. we have voices, which is a frequency of itself, that are releasing out, and we need to be grounded as well. Not to say that you'll start going hum for no reason, but it's still, though, the science of it makes sense, because then you would need to have ground, and that's why we all run barefoot in the sand.
Yeah.
Or when I was a kid, I ran barefoot outside. I still to this
Oh,
day.
yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
if I have to
too.
take garbage out and it's warm outside, I'm not wasting time putting shoes on. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's done. So yeah, absolutely, that makes absolute sense. That would also make sense why in Ireland and some of the natural rocks and some of the mud over there, they encourage people to run barefoot because of the minerals and stuff that's there.
Exactly.
That absolutely makes awesome sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So just that's a little tidbit for you to think about over the next week, because next week we're going to dive deeper into the essential oil side of it, and we're going to get some fun stuff going on as well. I've got a little test I'm going to do. Bo's going to help me out with. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but I hope you guys enjoy today. Don't get run over by shoppers.
Yes.
You stay safe out there.
Stay safe, very safe, because it is Black Friday and it is going to be hectic. Okay.
Yes.
Also, keep in mind, I'm just going to throw this out there as a technical standpoint.
Yes.
Okay, because I do own a tech company. When you buy electronics, don't just buy it because it's a good deal. Okay, do your research, figure it out. If you buy cell phones, make sure you get a good cell phone case. A good cell phone case, including with a metal barrier in the back of it. Okay, the metal barrier helps block some of the frequencies that go into your body. Okay, mine is a Pelican case. Pelican has metal fragments inside of the plastic that helps block some of the radio frequencies from going into your body. So make sure, especially if you're buying for your loved ones, that you do that. Okay. Also want to throw this out there. We are having a YouTube channel page. We need you to go on to our YouTube. Okay, it's called the Oily Cadence. Same name as what it is right here.
Yep.
And you just Google, you can type inside YouTube, the channel will come right up. Please subscribe to it and like to it so you can refer back to these episodes. We will continue to do the Facebook Live videos. However, we are starting the YouTube channel so you can reference back, because Facebook doesn't store the videos for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And they've been having some issues with live streaming recently.
Yeah.
So do please like and subscribe to that, and we will catch you guys next time on the next episode.
So have a great week, and be watching for next Friday. Have a great one.